So I know I'm a bit late here, but I thought that if you were a bit disappointed in the latest Steam summer sale, don't worry, as I'm about to feature 14 brilliant titles, all with great reviews, all under $10, all that you definitely don't want to miss. Plus, I also included a lot of various genres, from epic roguelikes to brutal first-person shooters, from emotional masterpieces all the way to survival games that you can easily sink hundreds of hours into. Also, if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to leave a like or even subscribe to find more games to get lost in, starting with one of my all-time favorites, XCOM 2, a turn-based tactics game that constantly made me feel like I was directing my own action film.
Now that we have recovered our greatest weapon, the time has come to reclaim our world.
Sure, it's a bit old, but it's 90% off right now, and it's going for like $3. And for a game that you can easily lose a whole week into, well, it's definitely worth checking out. In the game, Earth as we know it has been invaded by aliens, and now you're leading the last desperate resistance from a mobile HQ. In XCOM, every single mission is a high-stakes emotional fight. Why? Well, to me, what sets this game apart is that you get to customize your very own crew. So there's this weird personal attachment you get with them. And losing one or two is quite heartbreaking at times, so yeah, it moves you. Now it is turn-based, which sounds boring for some, but I love it. See, I'm too slow for RTS games these days, so I enjoy taking my time, planning the perfect execution with all these epic slow-mo shots, sometimes missing, but it creates this unforgettable experience in a game that only gets better the more you play. And don't even get me started on the mods, which can further increase the playtime in this epic game. XCOM 2 is incredible. I still play it to this day, and I highly recommend it if you're into games where you can just create your own adventure and you just want to blow up a ton of aliens along the way. Now, do you like creating chaos? Do you enjoy trying to break a game, becoming so overpowered that you'll just annihilate anything in your path? And do you have a friend or two who enjoys this too? Well, I can't recommend Risk of Rain 2 enough, and right now it's like 67% off, so around $8. It was one of the games that got me through the lockdown period of COVID, where my friends and I would just sink hours into a roguelike that forces you to think quick on your feet and then rewards you for successfully combining some game-breaking items. Each run will see you being placed on a different map or biome, and then you will just need to kill as much as you can before destroying the level boss. But here's the kicker. See, the longer you are alive, the harder the enemies will get. This means that every second counts. Also, the roster of colorful characters means that you're constantly trying to find the right playstyle that suits you. Like for me, it's just swinging around like a madman. Risk of Rain 2 is a roguelike that not many people know about. But once you start understanding the items, turning on the epic soundtrack, and then just creating chaos either alone or with friends, it becomes very addictive and very satisfying to play.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
If you're wanting something unusual with some of the best writing you'll get in a game, Disco Elysium is not to be missed, especially now. It's like 90% off, it's going for around $4, and that's just insane for the amounts of unique gameplay you're gonna get from it. In the game, you're a detective. You wake up with amnesia as well as the biggest of all hangovers, and now you need to solve a murder. Now the thing with this game is that there's no combat. Instead, every interaction will happen through an insanely deep dialogue system and unique skill checks that represent your detective's inner thoughts and conflicting personality traits. That means that your choices, your failures, even the voices in your head will all shape who you are and how you will approach the case. I was hesitant at first, but within 20 minutes I knew this game was going to be good. And don't worry, the Final Cut version comes with the voice dialogue if you can't handle all that reading. The humor is dark, but the story is incredibly well written and explores profound themes of politics, memory, and society. Disco Elysium is one of those games that will stay with you long after you've played it, and highly recommended if you want something a little different from the usual games out there. Now for a game that I was a little hesitant to play, as whenever I was on Steam, someone on my Steam's friends list was always playing Noita. And as a fan of roguelikes, well, it made me even more nervous. And then I played it, and well, it was a big mistake because it's kind of like a gambling addiction with particle physics. It's currently 60% off, it costs around $8, and basically you're a little wizard spelunking through caves, battling creatures from Finnish mythology. Plus, this is all done in a world where every pixel is simulated. But I have to say that the game goes deep. Like, okay, cool, you have wands that can do some cool magic. But then you get a wand and you have no idea what it's capable of. Most of the time it'll be trying to kill you. Then you'll find some new ones or some new spells that you can mix and match with your wands, special potions, and a whole lot more to try and kill all these weird and magical creatures around you. You're going to die, like a lot, like all the time. But with every accidental death comes learning, and eventually you'll become so powerful that you'll just fly through the air at light speed and destroy everything in your path. It's just pure, unadulterated, pixelated destruction that you just have to try out. But just be warned, Noita is highly addictive. After playing many management and colony sim games, I thought I understood their mechanics pretty well. But then I bought Oxygen Not Included, and man, did this game do a number on my mental health. I thought it would be cute and fun, but this game is hard. However, it does come with such satisfying gameplay that hooked me in deep. Plus, now that it's like 70% off, going for like $8, the rate of investment makes this game so worth it. In the game, you're trying to keep these little guys called duplicants alive on an asteroid, and everything is against you, including the fundamentals of science. You're going to be dealing with thermodynamics, gas laws, fluid dynamics, some proper nerdy stuff that turns it into a survival game. Then you need to build intricate ventilation systems, manage heat, food, water, and just making sure that your duplicants don't use the bathroom where they're not supposed to. But then when you finally build that perfectly optimized, self-sustaining base, that feeling of accomplishment is hard to beat. And yes, it's got a steep learning curve, so maybe watch a YouTube video here and there, but someone wanting an addictive colony sim, this one is right up there. City builders are for a unique few, where you simply just want to play on your own, spending hours and hours creating your perfect city. And for me, if you haven't played it by now, City Skylines is probably one of the best out there. It's going for 70% off and it costs like $9. Sure, it's a bit dated, but once you keep your city going for just more than a few months and you watch it grow from a little village to a large metropolis, it creates an experience that is just so rewarding. From its cheerful music to the way that you see buildings upgrading just before your very eyes, there's so much to this game that makes it very hard to put down. But also it still keeps you on your toes. Like, who needs intense action sequences when you have hardcore traffic management? Can't believe I just said that out loud, but trust me, this game is uber satisfying. There's nothing better than zooming out after playing it for a few hours and being like, see this? I made this. If you've never thought about city building games being fun, just give City Skylines a go, and maybe even look at the mods while you're at it. Just make sure you've reserved the weekend and cancelled any future plans. Now, like I said, I am a sucker for roguelikes, what can I say, but one of the biggest culprits for getting me into this genre was Hades. My dad is Greek and he watches, I think, almost all my videos, so hopefully he sees my passion for Greek mythology here while destroying everything around me in my path. And even though the battles are so slick and so satisfying, it's the writing that kept me going. Most roguelikes have you just repeating the same levels over and over, but here, every time you die in this, it progresses and you get more and more excellent writing that makes the game feel fresh all the time. Well, I mean, there's that, and then there's also all these epic upgrades that you get along the way and picking up different boons that you can change how your playstyle will go. I mean, the combat is just exceptional. Plus, the Greek gods are just so cool. It just makes me want to read the book Mythos all over again. Yes, the sequel is out, but it's still in early access, and I feel like picking up the first one on sale is just so worth it. Around the time I was playing Hades, I also found Doom and didn't realize how fun it was just to blast through enemies while pouting my lips and listening to some head-banging metal music. Right now it's 80% off and costs like $4, making it a steal for people wanting to let off some steam. You play as the Doomslayer, a one-man army tearing through hordes of hellish demons with an insane arsenal of weapons. Now, I'm not known for sneaking around in my games, so I felt right at home in this title that rewards you for pushing forward harder than the South African rugby team against the Aussies. Like, you get to regain health and ammo by performing these brutal glory kills that compels you to keep your momentum going. The heavy metal soundtrack goes hard, making every chainsaw rip and shotgun blast feel incredibly satisfying. So if you're looking for a game where you can just kind of switch off, where adrenaline meets catharsis, Doom is definitely a game to check out. Now, if you're looking for a title that you can easily sink hundreds of hours into without ever getting bored, Terraria is a 2D sandbox adventure not worth missing out on, especially while it's on sale. It's 50% off, going for like $5, so for that price you can expect hours of addictive gameplay. Sure, you're gonna punch trees, dig dirt, build a base, but then the experience is only gonna get better in this open world survival crafter. There are literally hundreds of weapons, armor sets, and tools to craft. You're gonna explore dozens of unique biomes, from corrupted lands to floating islands, and then fight some epic bosses that actually feel like proper boss fights. The progression is super satisfying, and building your dream base is always so much fun. So whether you're into exploration, intense combat, deep crafting, or just chilling with friends, Terraria has something for everyone and absolutely worth checking out. Any fans of Heroes of Might and Magic might be interested in Songs of Conquest, which feels very similar to the popular turn-based strategy game but changes a few things here and there. And it's also sitting with a deep 70% discount, going for like $9, which isn't bad at all. In the game you'll command armies, explore maps filled with treasures and dangers, and then use powerful spells called songs to dominate the battlefield. The pixel art though in this game is just so mesmerizing to look at. And the music is not too bad either. But what makes the game so special is how it combines the old school vibes with modern quality of life features. It's easy to pick up, but the deep tactics and resource management mean that there's plenty of room to flex those strategy muscles. So if you're craving nostalgia with a fresh twist or just love conquering kingdoms, then maybe Songs of Conquest might just be your kind of jam.
I specialize in dealing with police officers suffering from emotional trauma.
What's hiding in that metal head of yours?
I think we can both agree that you are no ordinary police officer.
Alright, so if you're a fan of the classic movies, RoboCop Rogue City is your chance to literally be RoboCop. This is a brutal, violent first-person shooter that absolutely nails the grim, satirical tone of the original films. Plus, at the moment, it's like 90% off. It's going for like $5, which is just so worth it. In the game, you'll patrol the crime-ridden streets of old Detroit, dishing out justice with your iconic Auto 9, and then tearing through gangs with bone-shattering force. The game perfectly captures RoboCop's deliberate, powerful movement, making every step just feel like weighty and every shot feeling impactful. And beyond the awesome gunplay, you get to do detective work, make moral choices that affect the city, and interact with the classical characters. So if you've ever wanted to live out that part man, part machine, all cop fantasy, this game is it. Many people might push it aside as it looks not the best, but RoboCop Rogue City might just surprise you as how engaging it can be. Now, if you want a game with more emotion, GRIS is a great-looking, art-driven platforming adventure that tells this incredible story through its visuals and music. Plus, it's 90% off, going for like under $2, so even though it's a short 3 to 4 hour experience, you're definitely gonna get your money's worth. The platforming mechanics are simple, so don't expect anything too hectic. Think of it more like a game like Journey, where you're just there for the ride. You play as GRIS, a hopeful young girl lost in her own world, navigating a journey through sorrow that is beautifully manifested in her evolving dress, which grants her new abilities. But the game is just a serene experience, focusing on exploration, light puzzles, and platforming, all brought to life with detailed art, incredible animation, and a soundtrack masterpiece. So yeah, GRIS is a small but beautiful title that's definitely worth playing at least once and is highly recommended. Now, when I mentioned Hades got me into roguelikes, I was kind of telling a half-truth, as FTL Faster Than Light may have been the very first, I just didn't know it at the time. This is a real-time with pause strategy game that has you in command of a lone starship on a desperate mission to deliver critical data to the Galactic Federation. It's also pretty interesting because you're getting chased by the pesky rebel fleet, and now you must navigate procedurally generated sectors, making perilous jumps between beacons in order to survive. But every jump presents a new challenge. You're gonna face some fierce tactical combat, some unexpected events, or opportunities to upgrade your ship and recruit some diverse crew members. But the battles, man, they're so intense. Like, you need to carefully manage the power to your shields, weapons, and engines, all while repairing systems, as your ship will be on fire a lot. Plus, once you've got to grips with it all, the multiverse mod ramps up the replayability even more. FTL has created such a name for itself that you'll now see tons of FTL-like spin-offs. But honestly, play the original, it is damn good. And lastly, this is easily one of my favorite games of all time. When I first saw Valheim, I wasn't that impressed. I mean, it looked okay, but at the time I just wanted AAA graphics in my face. And here your eyes look like two white rhombuses or rhombi. And then when you hear open world survival crafter, many people might roll their eyes. Ugh, chopping trees down, boring. But wait, just hear me out. Often when I played RPG games, they were mostly just on rails. Go do this mission, follow this man, collect berries, and so on, whatever. But Valheim isn't like that at all. Sure, you have a boss in each of the various biomes, but this game is all about the experiences you pick up along the way, especially when you have a friend or two to play it with. And going back to those graphics, this game has some of the best sunrises and sunsets I've ever seen, period. Currently, I've got like over 350 hours in this game. I mean, I clearly love it. I started playing it with my girlfriend, and then she became my fiance, and now we're playing it with one of my best friends from across the world every weekend. The gameplay is basically split into two parts. First is your base, where you'll be making food, crafting weapons, and then building up your home. And here I can get so easily distracted in each and every task that I often need to write down what I need to do. Like, I kid you not. Then comes the exploration, where you often just go off and do whatever you want. Want to go sailing and just catch fish for an hour? You can do that. Or maybe you want to go on these epic raids and try not to die. And then doing it with friends, it almost creates like a sacred bond between everyone that is hard to find in other games. Yeah, honestly, I could go on, but if you want to find a game to truly get lost in, Valheim is my #1 pick. But that wraps up my video. Thank you very much for watching. What did I miss out on? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like or maybe even subscribe to find more games to get lost in. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games, and as always, don't stop gaming.